Hi viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will discuss about the famous musician Little Richard. Richard was professionally known as Little Richard and he was an American musician, singer and songwriter. He was an influential figure in popular music and culture for 7 decades. Described as the architect of rock and roll, Richard's most celebrated work dates from the mid-1950s, when his charismatic showmanship and dynamic music, characterized by frenetic piano playing, pounding backbeat, and raspy shouted vocals, laid the foundation for rock and roll. Richard's innovative emotive vocalizations and up-tempo rhythmic music also played a key role in the formation of other popular music genres including soul and funk. He influenced numerous singers and musicians across musical genres from rock to hip hop. His music helped shape rhythm and blues for generations. Tutti Frutti in 1955, one of Richard's signature songs, became an instant hit, crossing over to the pop charts in both the United States and the United Kingdom. His next hit single, Long Tall Sally, hit number 1 on the Billboard Rhythm and Blues Bestsellers chart, followed by a rapid succession of 15 more in less than 3 years. His performances during this period resulted in integration between white Americans and black Americans in his audience. In 1962, after a 5-year period during which Richard abandoned rock and roll music for born-again Christianity, concert promoter Don Aaron persuaded him to tour Europe. During this time, the Beatles opened for Richard on some tour dates. Richard advised the Beatles on how to perform his songs and taught the Hands member Paul his distinctive vocalizations. Richard is cited as one of the first crossover black artists reaching audiences of all races. His music and concerts broke the color line, drawing black and white people together despite attempts to sustain segregation. Many of his contemporaries, including Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly, Bill Harley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Gene Vincent, and Eddie Cochran, recorded covers of his works. Taken by his music and style, and personally covering 4 of Richard's songs on his own 2 breakthrough albums in 1956. Presley told Richard in 1969 that his music was an inspiration to him and that he was the greatest. Richard was honored by many institutions. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as part of its first group of inductees in 1986. He was also inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He was the recipient of Lifetime Achievement Awards from the Recording Academy and the Rhythm and Blues Foundation. In 2015, Richard received a Rhapsody and Rhythm Award from the National Museum of African American Music for his key role in the formation of popular music genres and helping to bring an end to the racial divide on the music charts and in concert in the mid-1950s, changing American culture significantly. Tutti Frutti was included in the National Recording Registry of the Library of Congress in 2010, which stated that his unique vocalizing over the irresistible beat announced a new era in music. In October 1947, Sister Rosetta Tharpe overheard the 14-year-old Richard singing over his songs before a performance at the Macon City Auditorium. She invited him to open her show. After the show, Tharpe paid him, inspiring him to become a professional performer. Before entering the 10th grade, Richard left his family home and joined Hudson's Madison Show in 1949, performing Louis Jordan's Caledonia. Richard recalled that the song was the first secular R&B song he learned, since his family had strict rules against playing R&B music, which they considered devil music. Richard also performed in drag during this time, performing under the name Princess Levonie. In 1950, Richard joined his first musical band, Buster Brown's Orchestra, where Brown gave him the name Little Richard. Performing in the minstrel show circuit, Richard in and out of drag appeared for vaudeville acts such as Sugarfoot Sam from Alabama, the Tiddy Jolly Steppers, the King Brothers Circus, and the Broadway Follies. Impressed by his singing voice, Wright put him in contact with Zenas seers. So all these are the points from the famous musician Richard. I hope you like my video. Please subscribe.